This video is inspired by Nando V Movies and is one Villainous scene playlist. I don't know a whole lot about movies, but I've played a lot of games, enough to know when I like one and why. For example, I love this scene in Uncharted 4's A Thief's End, where Rafe absolutely snaps. It has your climactic hero versus villain standoff, and your impressive cinematic set piece that wows the viewer. So why am I talking about it? Mainly because it's the scene that sets an Uncharted's greatest villain. Now when I say that Rafe is Uncharted's greatest villain, I say that because he's the most relatable villain that the Uncharted series has produced. Don't get me wrong, I love Flynn and Eddie as much as the next person, but Rafe comes across as a sympathetic character because even though he's had everything handed to him on a goddamn silver platter, he still looks at Nate and becomes envious. After all, since their stint in prison when Nate and Rafe escaped the island, Nate has gone on wild adventures, mostly with our favorite mustachioed cigar chomper and the world's most story-hungry TV personality, / war correspondent, / reporter. She's had a lot of promotions, alright? What of Rafe? He's been searching for the same damn treasure the entire time. He's poured hundreds of hours, resources, and money all into this expedition. He's even bailed Nate's long-thought-dead brother out of prison to help uncover the treasure. So of course he'd get a little salty, envious, and frustrated. When we see him in this game, he's a man at his tipping point, because he finally makes a bit of a breakthrough, and the Drakes keep getting in his way. So when he offers Nate an out, it's not only a professional courtesy, but a final attempt at diplomacy. In fact, throughout the entire game, I would argue that for everything that Rafe's been through, despite his ruthless behavior, he's had a lot of patience that has been worn down by the time we reach this final scene. I know, he still has his anger issues, clearly. But what makes Rafe different from all the other Uncharted villains? It all comes down to tone. The Uncharted series has been lighthearted like a Saturday morning cartoon, with its signature ludonarrative dissonance practically oozing out of its pores. I mean, it's a fun series. My favorite, in fact. But all the villains are bad guys who do bad things, and that's just who they are. Saturday morning cartoon syndrome. It's been that way through every game, including the spin-offs. Uncharted 4, however, has taken a different route. A darker tone. The villains are just people with a lot more morally gray to them. Well, Rafe's anger management problems don't help him look any better, but it's in these shades of gray, no, not that one, that really present Rafe as a relatable person, despite his wealth. He wants to finally earn something. Be accredited for more than just "Mummy and Daddy's spoiled trust fund, baby." His aspirations to be like Nate are relatable. I've wanted to be like Nate for a long time, searching for and finding adventure and treasure around every corner. That in itself is a noble goal. The means by which he chases this goal are, however, much less noble. So on with the scene. Sam steals a boat to the ship, beating Rafe there. Strike 1. Nadine tells Rafe that Sam's earned the treasure over him. Strike 2. Nadine betrays Rafe. Strike 3. His patience by this point has been worn past thin, and he absolutely snaps. Not to mention the fact that Sam nearly gets everyone killed because of Avery's traps. Nate shows up to save his brother, the brother that Nadine said had earned the treasure. Extra strikes. I'd be pissed at this point too. He snaps. He means to kill both Nate and Sam so that he can earn his treasure, like blood money needs any more death. We can all agree that that's a bit far, especially since Nate doesn't even care about the treasure, only his brother. This pisses Rafe off even more. What? You mean to tell me the legendary treasure hunter is in a ship full of gold and doesn't even want it? And he taunts Nate about his legendary status and his accomplishments like it's supposed to spur him to fight for this treasure any harder. But as we can see, Nate has become so numb to the allure of treasure at this point that the only thing that matters is getting his brother back. Rafe isn't done yet, however, since he hasn't earned his treasure yet. And it's only until he's defeated the legendary Nathan Drake that Rafe feels accomplished. And I guess the projection of his feelings of his insecurities onto Nate as he's at his weakest also makes him feel more validated. But it's at this point Rafe has won. He's overcome the betrayal and setbacks that have tormented him for years, and he's beaten a legend in the game of treasure hunting. He's earned the treasure, despite the fact that he could have just had it. But having it handed to him isn't what he wanted. He tolerated Nate and Sam for so long because if he got the treasure over legend, then he earned the fortune and glory. And in an almost ironic twist, if Rafe had let go of his anger and envy and just helped Nate and Sam escape, then he would have actually earned the treasure. And despite it all, it wasn't Rafe's envy that got him killed. It was his anger. Sure, Rafe's envy played a part, but Sam was the character that was most green with envy. If Rafe would have stayed calm and thought clearly, maybe he'd still be alive. Though Rafe flew too close to the sun as his earned treasure crushed him to death. I guess the moral of this story is, be careful what you wish for. It might just get you.
Holy shit.